Are we ready then? Call the meeting to order. First order of business is the swearing in of Councillor Carrier as the Deputy Mayor. So, you get to have your kick at the can as Deputy Mayor. I'm sure you'll get a couple of meetings since I'm going away in September. You'll have at least probably one or two, for sure.
Shaking in my boots already.
I can tell. Start practicing. So, repeat after me. I, Trevor Carrier,
I, Trevor Carrier,
do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Deputy Mayor for the Town of High Prairie
the office of Deputy Mayor for the Town of High Prairie
from July 1st, 2014 until February 28th, 2015.
from July 1st, 2014 until February 28th, 2015.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
sir. And I think I need a signature. Mr. Councillor Deputy Mayor Carrier. Oh, you're the commissioner.
No, not Commissioner. Commissioner Fields.
Sign here, sir.
Sign? Oh, Commissioner Fields? Yeah, you can sign.
There we are. Well, you had a good term as 6 months as Deputy Mayor.
It was fun.
Learned lots.
Lots.
Okay, first item of business is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I had one change.
Yes?
It was, I would suggest we move 5E of Public Works up to just under 5, or 5, make it 5A,
The whole section or just the lift station?
the whole section. Because that way both Vern and Siemens can be done.
And where did you want to place it?
Just under new business before finance.
Before finance? All right. Any objections to that movement? Are there any other additions to the agenda? I would like to add personnel under confidential items.
Madam Chair?
Yes?
I think we may have a problem in terms of the bylaw. Any matter that's supposed to come to council is supposed to come to administration as per section 30.2 in terms of the background rationale for that particular item.
This is a confidential item dealing with personnel, and we only have one staff member, so it would be kind of defeating the purpose in one sense or another that we would be, it's a confidential item. So it's a kind of a circular argument. Councillor Long?
With all due respect, it's confidential, extremely confidential, because I don't know how many other councillors are aware of what the issue is.
I think they all are, because I sent
So-
the email out to all of them.
I'm not sure that until we do a review, there's not much point in dealing with the issue that you want. I mean, we have an employee review coming up, and once we do that, then we can set those things in place. We can address those issues. And that's the time we should be doing it, is when we're looking at the review.
So only once a year? Would you, I don't understand this, because everyone received the memo. It's not dealing with performance, it's dealing with paperwork, but it deals with the personnel, it deals with the CAO, paperwork. So I don't understand what it is that everyone is, or
Yeah.
the
But-
two are saying, no, we can't talk about this.
But, Madam Mayor, with due respect and respectfully, it doesn't matter whether it's myself or anybody else, the Town of High Prairie's procedure bylaw is set up in a way that professionals like us, like CAOs, can deal with any matter, whether it's involving us or not. When we go into in-camera, it is the purview of administration to provide council with informed advice, such that when council gets out of in-camera, they don't end up making decisions that can be costly to the Town of High Prairie. Secondly, there are issues of urgency that the Town of High Prairie has to deal with. Section 30.7 is very clear that any matter that comes on the agenda has to be urgent. How do we define urgent? It's very clear that if it has financial or material implications for the town, then council is forced to put that issue as an agenda item. So the question is, how does council come to the determination that this is an urgent matter when even administration does not know what the issue is, to be able to validly inform and advise council in camera? It's a tricky issue, but I have to provide my side
I
of
understand
issues.
what you're saying. Councillor Empton?
Hey, two points of interest. I would say on probably 3/4 of the time that I come to council meetings, there's an extra motion being added, which could be why it's urgent. Second point of interest would be that if it's dealing with personnel, I'd classify it as being urgent.
I also would, in reference to the urgency, the personnel item was sent within the call for agenda items, so it was not, this is not an addition in the sense that it just is coming up tonight. I spoke with Municipal Affairs because I wanted to make sure that I was doing it right. And I did talk to the advisors, and they said, this is how you do it. You put it on the agenda item as an in-camera personnel item, and then you go forward from there. And that's what I did. So I don't understand why we would not be allowed to discuss this in our meeting with our agenda. So,
Madam Chair, my role is to provide advice. The decision is up to council to make that determination. I have a role as a CAO. Your procedure bylaw is for officials, is for the town residents. It's supposed to be on equal basis. 30.2 says this information should come to the administration. Administration is supposed to be very versed in FOIP to know exactly what's going in camera, whether it affects the CEO, does it affect the CEO. I mean, that's our professional obligation to do the job. It doesn't really matter. An example of this was when we went through Harold John's Root's section about the CAO. We went in camera, the CEO provided a request for decision, it was balanced, council looked at it and made a decision. Now, the issue of urgency, and I think these are matters that we discuss so that we can improve on our governance understanding. Because something is personnel doesn't mean that it's urgent. Let's see the definition of urgency. 2.134 is very clear. If the addendum is time sensitive or where failure to provide immediate action may cause financial or other distress to the municipality, council or a committee, then the chair may authorize the addition of the addendum to the agenda. And so I'm just providing advice. The final decision is yours, but I have the purview within the administration to always provide you with these forms of advice.
and again, it's not coming on as an urgent item. It was given to you within the time frame that was required last Wednesday, and so I don't understand why it didn't get on last Wednesday on the agenda. So I guess I leave it to the, I would like to add it as an agenda item, personnel, confidential items, and the vote then would be to accept the agenda as amended. Could I have a motion then to accept the agenda as amended?
Didn't you have something?
Councillor Emter has made that motion.
If you want
I saw Brian's hand up, that's all.
to,
Yeah.
Could I, the motion is to adopt the agenda as amended. All in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. Then we will move on now to the minutes of the regular meeting of council. And this is the June 11th meeting. Are there any errors or omissions on these minutes? And I was not here, so I will assume that the four that were here. Oh, this is June 11th. I was thinking May 29th. Any errors or omissions? If not, could we have a motion to adopt the minutes? Councillor Danaka has
I
made
make
the
a
motion.
motion to adopt the minutes of June 11th, 2014 council meeting.
All in favor? Motion is carried. Next item is the Public Works report. We're moving Public Works now up to, and the Public Works report is on page 69 of the agenda. Welcome, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Your Worship. Basically, this is a report for May and June, so I was on holidays at the end of June. Or May, sorry.
Pardon?
I was on holidays at the end of May, so this
Yeah.
is for 2 weeks. But
Yeah. Are there, I think everybody's read the report. Are there any questions on the report? Councillor Carrier?
I believe I have 2 questions. Sprayed and rolled the walking trails twice, I believe that's for JC Park. Is there any plans for fixing the trails? I know forestry's in there right now doing some fire smart and some brushing.
I have filled out a detailed report, and Kelly's report he's bringing forward, but we budget about $8,000 a year. We have asked council in the past for more money. It's costly. Other communities are having the same problem, and we're trying to do the best we can.
An estimated cost for total rehabilitation of the trail?
I talked with one of the recreation people today. They have about 580 feet. It would probably cost anywhere between $30,000 and $40,000 probably to repair that section. We did the north section on the Elks property back in about 2004, 2005. That was about $75,000 total at that time, but the asphalt prices have tripled since we did that.
Councillor Carrier?
Just kind of a
Councillor-
second question there.
Yeah?
It says rented a Zoom lift for lowering the flags. Is our picker truck down or?
Yeah,
it
we're
is?
putting a new engine in.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Emter?
Councillor Rose had her hand up first.
I was going to go around
Oh,
first.
okay, sorry. One of the mentions that you have here is you graded all alleyways.
There's a few that didn't get done. I was made aware of today.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you grade the alleyways, are you actually cutting them down? Because I know where I used to live, the alley slowly over a 10-year period starts inching up in height.
Yeah. What they do is they go in, they cut them, try to maintain them as flat, and then build a little bit of a crown to them. They do the best they can under the circumstances. It's very restricted width in the back alleys,
Yeah.
so it's difficult to.
I know on my previous residence, the power poles are right up against the alley, and I thought the residences on the other side would have their fences moved in. However, they were right, it's our fences that had to be moved in. So we pulled ours in, but now you got this pole here, my fence here,
Yeah.
your grader's gotta go right here.
It's difficult for them
Defeats the purpose,
to grade
yeah.
the alleys in a proper manner as opposed to an open gravel.
Okay. You're on the second page at the bottom, CSR.
Yeah, customer service requests.
Okay. Is that done on an accounts receivable or anything?
Yep. Those
Okay.
are all invoiced up.
Okay. Thank you.
Councillor Panasic?
Yeah, those walking trails are a hot item, as you probably.
They are every year.
Yeah. Do we not work with the MD on those at all?
We went to try to have the MD help fund the construction of the north part of the Alps, and at that time, they were unwilling to cooperate with the town at that time.
Okay, so they haven't been contributing to ongoing maintenance of the trails in any way?
The only way they would be is through the area of JC Park and the cost share of the mowing of the grass in that area.
Okay.
Unless you have something to add to this discussion here?
It would be on the trails. It reminded me, sorry.
But you know what? That's what my comment was about when I wanted to answer, I wanted to discuss the trails after Trevor made the motion.
The trails are on the CAO report, and I think for an in-depth discussion of the trails, we should wait for the CAO's report.
Okay.
Councillor Long?
No, concise report. concerned about the lift station cost, but that's,
As well, that's why I brought my counterparts.
but we'll be addressing that separately, so.
That'll be the next item on this. Councillor Didnaka?
The little green space where the skate park is,
Needs to be moved.
I have no problem with the skate park, but I mean, right now it's an eyesore, and with the grass being as overgrown as it is, it's just more of an eyesore. And I've seen, they've been school kids in there from Northlands to come in for their little picnics, and they're playing in grass this tall. Is there any way that that can be scheduled to be cut down or
We'll
somehow?
have to discuss that with the contractor that looks after that part. That would be under Tim Stokes' contract for Civic Square.